Is The Father a masterpiece? Or is it a masterpiece?
We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you.
23.
Hey, what's up you guys? This is Steffi, aka In My Humble Opinion, and welcome back to another IMHO Film Club movie review. I am so excited to talk about today's movie, and today we are talking about The Father. So The Father stars Sir Anthony Hopkins, Olivia Colman, Imogen Poots, Rufus Sewell, Olivia Williams, and Mark Gatiss. This movie was directed by Florian Zeller, and I believe this is his directorial debut, which is incredible, crazy. And it was also written by Florian Zeller and Christopher Hampton, based on the play Le Père by Florian Zeller, and Le Père translates to the father in French. So The Father is about an elderly man who is dealing with the early stages of dementia, played by Anthony Hopkins. He basically is refusing all help from his daughter, played by Olivia Colman, and does not want to leave his flat. But over the course of the movie, he starts to question his reality. As far as Oscars are concerned, this movie was nominated for 4 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Adapted Screenplay. Now, I need you guys to pause. If you have not seen The Father yet and you've gotten this far into the video, please pause this video, go watch The Father, and then come back and watch this review, because I'm gonna try and not give away too much, but at the same time, like, I genuinely feel like this is a movie that you should try walking into with as little knowledge as possible. Like, basically everything I said, that's all you need to know about the movie walking in. I think everybody needs to experience this movie at least once in their life. Well, with that being said, I feel like you guys know where this review is going, but as in all my movie reviews here on this channel, I'm gonna be talking about the pros, the cons, and then I'm gonna give my overall rating and review at the very end. So let's get right into it. So let's talk about some of the pros. So the first pro I have to this movie is its script. Wow. Just wow. This script is so well written. There's been different shows and movies throughout the history of entertainment that portray the story of dementia or Alzheimer's disease, but I've never watched anything that did it quite like The Father, in terms of really it being told from the perspective of someone who is dealing with this illness. You genuinely feel disoriented while watching this movie, kind of like how Anthony Hopkins' character feels in the movie, but it's never off-putting, or you never really feel like, oh my gosh, I'm like thinking too hard and I don't really care to keep watching this movie. Like, I was genuinely mentally engaged the entire time while watching this movie. And I'm not gonna lie, like, there's been lots of movies, even some of the movies that I've reviewed more recently, where I'll be like lying on my bed and I'm kind of like, But while I was watching this movie, I was like sitting straight up, I was like leaning in, like the script is really good. So that's what I really liked about this movie, is that I was mentally engaged the entire time. And then another thing about the script too is that the characters were just so well written. You genuinely empathize with both the father and the daughter. And when it comes to Olivia Colman's character, she's dealing with such complicated emotions as someone who is looking after her dad. You get the sense that obviously she does care, but at the same time you can tell that she is really sad, or that she's really angry and a bit resentful because her dad sometimes isn't that nice to her. This entire experience can be emotionally exhausting. My second pro of this movie is the performances. Just wow. Wow. Both Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman are nominated for their performances in this movie, and that's with good reason, because they did that. So starting off with Olivia Colman, if you guys have been watching my channel for quite some time, you guys know how much I love her. Loved her in The Crown, even loved her in Fleabag. And I think what I love about Olivia Colman, and you saw that in The Crown and you saw that in Fleabag, is she is an actress who works really well in the subtleties. She is someone who you don't need to give her this big monologue in order for her to show that she can really act. Like, she can do so much with so little. And you see it in the way she tilts her head, or in the way her eyes will sink. She just knows what to do with the littlest moments. And that's why a character like Anne in The Father really plays up to Olivia Colman's strengths as an actress, because that character is all about someone who is just trying to hold it all together, and she is not letting her emotions shine through. because, you know, she kind of wants to be the fixer. She wants to make sure everyone is okay. But oh, underneath, woo, emotions are a brewing. And then when it comes to Anthony Hopkins' performance, man, what a dynamic performance that just really shows off his range. In one scene, he can go from being this very charismatic, gregarious, witty, quick on his feet guy, you know, he's tap dancing around, and then all of a sudden, boom, he will say something that is just so disarmingly abrasive that you're kind of like caught off guard and you're like, oh my god, that hurt. And of course, the end when he starts to emotionally unravel and he is just really mentally not there anymore and he is calling out for his mom. It's so heartbreaking and devastating to see. And again, just shout out to the wonderful script for writing such rich roles, but especially rich roles for an elderly person, because I feel like in a lot of movies and shows, the way the elderly are portrayed sometimes, they're very like pleasant and they're one note, but the father, because of its subject matter, it really allows their elderly character, their older actor to just go. Alright, and my third pro to this movie is its technical aspects. I feel like The Father is just another great example of the creative team using the tools of filmmaking to translate and elevate the story from a play. And every department, I feel like, pulled its weight and showed up for this movie. Like the production design, the way that they designed and built the flat to sort of mirror the floor plan of the hospital. And then like the score, like when the score would kick in during the moments when Anthony Hopkins' character is like a bit confused. Also, like the editing, oh my gosh, the editing was so good. I have no idea how they did the editing when it came to this movie. I need to do more research on that. But when you consider too, especially the scenes when they would be circular, like it would begin and end the same way, you're just like, how was this done? It's so good. Every facet of this movie was just really well done, down to the details. And for that reason, it's definitely worth rewatching. Alright, and my fourth pro to this movie is just its subject matter. I think when it comes to the topic of dementia, Alzheimer's disease, sometimes you may not want to engage with that because that's just a really tough subject matter to watch play out. I could even speak for myself, even though I had The Father on my list and even though I was like, oh my gosh, Olivia Colman's in this, I was a bit hesitant to watch The Father because I was like, gosh, I don't know if I want to commit to watching a movie about dementia. But again, I feel like watching this movie is a lesson in empathy. Kind of like how Sound of Metal, you got to experience what it was like for someone who was losing their ability to hear. In The Father, you're experiencing what it's like for someone who has dementia or Alzheimer's disease. And just the way that they captured this experience, it never feels hokey or preachy or that they're trying to teach a lesson. It's really just about telling the story and capturing that experience. Alright, so now let's talk about some of the cons. And I really only have one con, and it's not even a con, but I'm doing this to be nitpicky, and that would be not all of your questions will be answered by the end. And again, I kind of feel like that's the point of this movie. It's not for you to figure out everything. It's more so for you to have this experience. And even though at the end of the movie, we don't quite know what was going on, it still didn't really bother me. But I will say, if you guys want to leave your theories down below in the comments section, who was who, what was the actual time frame of these events, let me know in the comment section below because I would love to read your theories. And alright, my overall rating for The Father is a solid A. The Father is a masterpiece. Every element of this movie is amazing. There is no weak link. And while some may find it annoying that we don't get all our answers at the end, that's kind of the point. This movie artfully captures how disorienting and frustrating and emotionally exhausting it must feel for those with dementia and those trying to help, from family members to caregivers to the nurses and doctors. And ultimately, The Father makes for a truly unique viewing experience. I genuinely cannot recommend this movie enough. If you've gotten this far into the review without seeing The Father, still please watch The Father. It's worth watching. As far as Oscars are concerned, I hope that at the very least this can win Best Adapted Screenplay. I know Nomadland is like the front runner, but I genuinely feel that the father deserves this award. So there we go. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and please turn on the notification button down below so you know when a new video from me comes out, and comment down below your thoughts on this movie. As you guys can tell, I really enjoyed The Father. Like, man, what a moment that is most pleasing to me in my career.
But wow, what a moment I will never forget. A moment that is most pleasing to me in my career.
But yes, as always, everything I said was just my own personal thoughts and all my humble opinion, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!